What's up, YouTube? Welcome to the Credit Plug channel, where we talk about how to build credit, how to establish relationships with banks, and most importantly, how to get you access to high limit credit funding. If you haven't already, make sure you hit that subscribe button as well as smash the like button. So in today's video, I'm gonna be sharing some information on how you could potentially gain membership through Navy Federal. Now, again, before we get into this video, this is not financial advice. I'm just sharing some information on a way that you could potentially gain membership, even if you don't have a direct affiliation to the military, or if you don't have any family members to sponsor you, a way for you to join Navy Federal. Now, as a lot of you are aware, Navy Federal is probably the most popular credit union out there, and it's the largest credit union in the United States. So Navy Federal is very popular because they're known for their generosity as well as their customer service. So Navy Federal is one of the few financial institutions where you can get a relatively high credit limit even if you don't have the highest credit score. So I've seen it firsthand where people were getting approved for $25,000 credit limits with lower credit scores. I've even seen someone with a 580 credit score get approved for a $20,000 credit limit. So this is unheard of at any other financial institutions. That's not happening at the big banks, Amex, Chase. So Navy Federal is one of a kind because even if you don't have the highest credit score or the longest credit history, you can still get access to pretty high credit limits relative to other financial institutions. And overall, Navy Federal is just very generous. So with that comes a lot of people who are trying to get into Navy Federal. Now, one of the downsides of Navy Federal is that membership is not open to everyone. Now, in order to join, you either have to have some type of affiliation to the military, so the different branches, whether that's Army, Navy, Air Force, Army Reserves. So anyone who's in the armed forces, they're automatically going to be eligible. Or if you are related, so if you have any family members, your brother, your sister, your mom, dad, your grandfather, grandmother, anyone who served in the military and their family members are going to be eligible to join Navy Federal. So in today's video, I'm actually going to be sharing a backdoor method that you could potentially use to get into Navy Federal. So here we are on the Navy Federal website. Now, just to kind of reiterate, now, in order to be eligible, service members in all branches of the armed forces are eligible for membership. This category includes active duty members of the Army, Marine Corps, Navy, Air Force, Coast Guard, National Guard, as well as the Space Force. If you're an ROTC or DOD officer candidate, DOD reservists, you also got delayed entry program participants, as well as veterans, retirees. Those are going to be the direct ways to join. Now, if you are a family member of someone who served in the military, so this includes immediate family members. So like I said, parents, grandparents, spouses, siblings, children, including adopted as well as stepchildren, as well as grandchildren. And right down here, it says household members. So this is the way that you can get into Navy Federal, even if you don't have a direct family member or you're not directly tied to any of the branches of armed forces. Now, this particular method is when you live with someone or you cohabitate with someone. If your roommate is a member of the armed forces or if your roommate is a member of Navy Federal, they can actually sponsor you to join Navy Federal. Now, I'm gonna walk you through exactly how Navy Federal treats this. So right here, it says, which of the following best describes you? So now, if you're trying to get into Navy Federal through cohabitation, so you live with a Navy Federal member, you're going to click this one right here. So it says this person will be your sponsor. So you will have to have your roommate's membership ID number as well as their last four of their social and their date of birth. Now, with the membership ID number, which is going to be of the sponsor, the person who's sponsoring you, their social security number, just the last four, and their date of birth, that information can get you in as a roommate. So you can actually get sponsored if you're a roommate of that person. Now, they will have to provide that information for you, but once they provide that for you, that's how you would be eligible to join Navy Federal. So what Navy Federal actually is going to do is cross-reference the addresses of the sponsor. So the person that you're saying that you live with, and then the address that you put on your membership application. So if those addresses don't match up, then that's one way that Navy Federal will deny your membership, because basically you're saying you're living with that person. So if you put any other address besides the address of your sponsor, then it doesn't really make sense. How can you say you live with that person if you put a different address on your membership application and the sponsor has a different address on file with Navy Federal? So that's one thing you have to make sure that lines up. Now, I'm not telling you to go out and lie and say you live with that person or you're a roommate. You definitely do not want to lie about that. But what I will say is that Navy Federal does cross-reference, make sure the addresses are a match, because if you're saying that you live with that person, you definitely would have to have the same address on file. So that's just one thing to keep in mind. So after you get past this stage, they're just going to ask you to enter in your roommate's first name and last name. And then on the next page, they're actually going to ask you to enter in their Navy Federal member ID, the last four of their social, as well as their date of birth. And then at that point, you'll enter in your information. So your name, your address, your social security number, date of birth, etc. And then it's pretty straightforward after that. As long as all that information matches up, then you should be able to get into Navy Federal with no problems at all. However, if you do have that address somewhere else on your credit profile, then it's just further evidence that you actually do live at that particular address. So if you have, let's say, a utility bill or something in your name that also has the same address as the sponsor's address, that's just additional documentation to validate your membership. And again, I'm not telling anyone out here to go lie and say you live with someone when you really don't, because again, that's breaking the rules and that's not actually true. Now, how they define roommate, if you live somewhere for 30 days or 2 weeks or 1 day, I'm not quite sure of what the definition of roommate is, right? But essentially, you're going to have the same address on file as the person who's sponsoring you. So that's going to be one of the ways that you can get into Navy Federal if you don't have a direct tie to the military, or if you don't have any family members who are a member of Navy Federal. Now, this information has been out for a very long time, so this isn't any new information that I'm sharing. There's hundreds of YouTube videos out there, people talking about different ways of getting into Navy Federal. I just wanted to share this particular way. Don't sell your membership ID for money to sponsor other people, because one thing that can also happen, because Navy Federal is so popular, everyone's talking about it, it also has invited a lot of fraudulent people. If someone else that you sponsor joins Navy Federal and then, doesn't pay their accounts or is doing something fraudulent, that could actually affect your membership with Navy Federal. So if you've been considering joining Navy Federal and you so happen to have a roommate, you could actually get in through Navy Federal if they sponsor you. This is not financial advice. This is for informational purposes only. But let me know your comments and questions in the comment section below. Till next time, take it easy and we'll talk to you soon. Peace.